Hey guys, my name is Beatriz and today we are going to be making butternut squash soup. So we are giving away these kits, and if you want to take time after your finals or get a break from your studying for your finals, you can go ahead and make this squash. It's already portioned out, so you can just put it together and follow along with this video. Okay, so now we're going to be making the butternut squash soup. So first thing you're going to do is go to your oven and preheat it to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And so now we're gonna go with the ingredients.
Describe all the ingredients.
Okay, so in your kit or your boxes, you will have chicken broth or vegetable broth. If you're vegetarian, this can also be vegetarian, so you'll have some kind of broth. I have oil in here, coconut milk. I believe yours will be portioned out. You'll get a butternut squash and some carrots, except for yours will be in whole. Mine is just in baby because I wanted to use my leftover carrots. And you'll also get an onion and garlic, some cloves of garlic. And then your seasonings will be salt and pepper. You can also add other seasonings if you have it, so like chili powder, cayenne powder, nutmeg, or I believe some cinnamon, but that makes it a little bit more like a dessert if that's how you think about it. So you can just stick with the chili powder, salt, pepper, and cayenne if you have those. But if you don't, just go ahead and stick with salt and pepper. So first we're going to start off with our butternut squash. And so what you're gonna do is just cut the top off. You may need to use some arm strength. These are a little tough. And then we're gonna cut the bottom as well. Okay. Then you're gonna have it stand up, and then just go ahead and be careful doing this. Next, you're gonna take a spoon and then you're just gonna take out this part right here. I guess you can call it the guts. Let's call it.
It's just like a pumpkin.
Okay, so I just finished scraping out the guts of my butternut squash. So you see they're decently clean, so they don't have to be perfect, just as long as you take out the seeds and some of it. So we're just gonna put this on our pan. You're gonna wanna have a roasting pan, or it could be like a baking sheet, and just line it with foil so it's an easy cleanup. So you're just gonna set those there for now. And then we're going to move on to our garlic and onion. So I have about 2 cloves of garlic. You're gonna have about 4 to 5, but I forgot to check my garlic to see if they were still fresh, and they weren't. So you'll have about 4 to 5. And what you're gonna do is just put them on your cutting board, get your knife, lay it on its side, and then just hit it until it's crushed. We're not gonna dice them or like chop them or anything. You're just gonna wanna crush them. See, just like crush them and just toss them in there. Next, we're gonna move on to our onion. We're going to cut it lengthwise. So we're gonna take the tip of our knife and then just use it to cut just strands. Sorry for the noise if you can hear that.
So much louder.
We're really sorry. We forgot about construction. I don't think that matters. Okay, so we just finished chopping our onion, and you got these like long pieces, and we kept this part so that way it stays sturdy instead of it just wobbling around. And then you're just gonna cut that part off, and then your onion should break apart. And if not, just go ahead and use your knife to cut those parts that didn't get cut. I'm using baby carrots because this is what I had at home, but you'll be getting those normal long carrots. And if you are cooking this at a different time, you'll need about 2 cups of carrot, which is about 2 medium-sized carrots. But so we're just gonna cut these inside a baby. You're gonna want them about maybe like 1 inch big. So I'm just gonna cut these into thirds and then toss them into my roasting pan. So we have our roasting pan, and inside of it we have our 2 butternut squashes, our onions that we just cut, and our garlic pieces. So it's in there. Next we're gonna take our oil. I have mine in a container. And you're just going to drizzle it on the squash. So once we have our vegetables covered in oil, next we're going to season them. So we have some salt and pepper. You can go ahead and add some herbs if you have that, such as thyme or rosemary. Those are pretty good with this. So we're just going to add salt, maybe about, oh, that's too big. So I'm just gonna put some in my hand so I have control over this instead of like accidentally over salting. My hands have some oil on them, so they're sticking to my hand. So just do the best you can if you're in my situation. Some pepper. If you like a lot of pepper, go ahead and add a lot of pepper. Your preference. You're the one eating it. I think we ran out. Okay, so go ahead and just retoss your garlic and onion and carrots so they're nicely coated. And okay. So here we have our oven. It's preheated to 400 degrees. Well, it should be up to 400 degrees by now. So we preheated it earlier. So we're just going to get our pan, put it into like about the middle rack, or try to, and then for 25 to 30 minutes we'll see it again. So we took our butternut squash out of the oven, and it took a bit longer than the 25 to 30 minute range I said. So if you want to have the 25 to 30 minutes, you might want to cube them up into cubes, and that should take time as there's less surface area for the heat to penetrate. So compared to, since we left ours holes, it took probably about like 40-45 minutes. So it's a little bit longer. And so we've taken out all the meat from the squash, and it's all in here. So then we're going to add our roasted carrots and onions. I did take these out a little bit earlier than the squash because they took less time. They took about the 25 minutes. Some might be a little more caramelized. That's fine. So next we're going to add our broth, so whether it's chicken or vegetable broth, and you're going to add about 1.5 cups to 2 cups. I'm just going to eyeball mine because you could measure it out if you would like. That's up to you. I just prefer to eyeball 1.5 cups. So you're going to add about 2/3 cups of coconut milk. Again, I'm just going to eyeball it. You can just add more in later time, so it's okay if you add less. You'll just add more later on. Our heat is at medium, and we're just going to let this simmer, and then after that we're going to blend it into a smooth soup. The next step is to blend this into a smooth consistency. I am using a hand blender today. This is my personal one, so that's why I'm going to use it. I think it's a lot better than a blender, but if you have a blender, you can use that. But be careful when you put it in the blender because this is hot, so you will build up some pressure, and which can cause it to explode a little bit into your face when you open the lid. So I'm just going to use this because it's more convenient. I can just blend this in the pot. soup has finished. After the blending, I let it simmer for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and I adjusted the consistency of this soup depending on how I wanted it. So I wanted more of a liquidy soup. As you can see, it's kind of liquidy. I did not get it to be a completely smooth soup because of my blender was not strong enough for that, which is okay. I don't mind it that much, so it's no big deal. So if you do find that your soup is hard to blend or it's too thick, go ahead and add some more broth. That will help thin it out, and then you adjust the milk. Yeah, if you use coconut milk or heavy cream, so adjust that. So just adjust as you go. Go ahead and taste as you go, because that's the only way you'll find out if you think it's good enough or not. So now we're gonna try this. I took my mask off, so we're gonna get a taste of this. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's sweet, but it's not overly too sweet, because when you roasted it in the oven, it brings out like that sweetness in the butternut squash, and it's like a kind of peppery because I added more pepper to it. So yeah, this is a good base, and you can go ahead and like build off of it. So like a few examples is when we are roasting the butternut squash and the onions and carrots and garlic, go ahead and add some maple syrup if you want for a little bit more sweetness. And if you have any herbs in your house that you may have gotten from us or such, go ahead and like add those. I don't know what we gave you, but go ahead and add those in here. So like if you got thyme or rosemary, go ahead and like chop them up and add them into this, and it'll give it some more flavor. That concludes our butternut squash soup. I hope you guys enjoy this. Go ahead and take a picture and share it to us on our social media. We would really love to see it and get some feedback and such. So go ahead and visit the pantry and pick up the kits that we will be giving out for you guys to make this at your own place. And one last bit of news is that this is our last cooking demo for the semester, so we'll be back in January. As for the hours of the pantry, our last day of opening is Tuesday, December 8th, so that's our last day, and we will be opening back up on January 19th. I believe it'll be regular hours after that. So everybody have a great holiday break, get some rest, and hope to see you guys next year. Okay, bye.